I made a gigantic batch of Easter color-blocked knapsacks. I did it the night before my party like it was design school finals because I realized I didn't have any baskets. I got 1 yard each of 6 different colors because I wanted it to be spring themed but not Easter exclusive because for some of my guests, this was their first egg hunt. I finished 3 edges of 11 by 15 squares and it'll take 2 squares to make a bag. I didn't want to do a tote because we all have too many of those and so I wanted to do more of a knapsack. I wanted both colors to be visible from both sides and if this were a design final, I would say it was trendy like Cotopaxi. The color blocking and the pastels are totally mod. I mean, come on, hand me my A. And fun fact, 6 colors will get you 15 unique combinations, which is great for telling which basket is yours without it being labeled. Anyway, I sewed down both sides of the squares and I left a hole, and this will be the opening for the drawstring channel, and then I pressed them open. I wanted these bags to be really nice and reusable. That's the whole point of not doing a basket. And so now when I fold down and do the drawstring channel, I'm also going to top stitch all of those seams down with these matching color threads. At this point in my one-woman assembly line, I'm cutting all of the cord lengths. I put the cord in as I sewed so that I wouldn't have to thread them all, because that is too much work. And because there's a hole in both sides, you could technically make this a 2-handled bag, but I'm in my jammies, which means I gotta be efficient. So what I'm doing is I am top stitching down the seam on the back, and I'm also making the channel for the cord in the same go. So I'm folding this down twice to hide it and hem it, and then matching this corner up with the bottom of the opening. And I'll pin it here, and then I just go in the color up the seam that will top stitch down this seam, and then I turn a corner rather than cutting off the channel and do the entire channel in the same go. So I go up, around, and down. And rather than leaving nasty backstitching literally everywhere, I just shorten my stitch length whenever I get to this corner and turn this corner so that it's reinforced. Because these are all still in tubes, I can batch them in like colors one after the other without changing my thread. And are you impressed with how long it took me to say tube? I know I say it funny. Anyway, at this point, I've used 2/3 of a yard of 6 colors to get 20 bags. They're top stitched extremely professionally, and I serged the bottom closed so that nothing ever frays. And remember, I said I didn't want anything looking like a tote bag, and so I don't want this little square thing, and I'm going to do some box corners to give it a little bit of roundness. It's time to go to bed. The Easter Bunny does not come if you are not in bed, so instead of marking these, I just went to town doing the box corners roughly 2 inches in. And now I've got 2 rectangles looking absolutely nothing like a tote bag, thank goodness. I tie the cords off together so that they don't unravel, and then I've got all of these ready for all of my friends to pick from. They're cute, they pack flat, they're reusable, and they're the perfect size for eggs. And look, the scraps could be used as Easter grass. Anyway, now the party's over and I got 7 left. What should I do with these? Who wants one?